Did you know that you have a supercomputer and you're always carrying it around with you? Hey, I'm Jeff Katurba, and on this channel, I talk about the creative process and overcoming obstacles so you can follow your dreams. To get more content like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. That supercomputer? Well, it's your brain. Creative thinking is a complex process that involves several regions of the brain working together, working on your behalf. It's a network of regions that are all connected like a really great railroad system. You know, like the railroad system in Europe and well, not in the United States. Creativity is also the subconscious mind combined with intuition and rationality. Great news. You don't have to be a brain scientist or a brain surgeon to understand how all of this works. You already have access to all the great stuff that's already in your brain, all of that creativity. I have no idea how my iPhone works, for example, but I still use it. I still appreciate the tool that it is. We're all made of the same stuff of the universe. We're all made of the stars, and you have access to the entire universe already within you. And there are endless possibilities for creative thought. So what are some of the traits that you need for a creative personality? You have to be open to new experiences, even those that make you feel uncomfortable. You're curious about the world. You're willing to take risks. And that includes going on adventures, big and small. Adventures in your neighborhood, or maybe traveling to some far-off place you've never been. And when you visit that far-off place, don't just go and visit like a tourist. Immerse yourself. Pretend like you live there. Maybe learn some of the language. At least learn a few words and phrases so you can try to communicate with the locals. But immerse yourself. Imagine that you live there. Immersing yourself in a different culture for even a little bit of time is a great way to interact with other people, to learn about other cultures, to build empathy, and it helps build new pathways in your brain. Read a book on a topic that you might not normally read. Listen to a podcast that's not in your normal playlist, or an album that you would never think of listening to. Get out of your comfort zone. Even for one episode of a podcast, push the limits, try new things, mix it up, get out of your routine, and tap into that childlike sense of wonder that we're all born with. Take some risks. I mean, you don't have to go out and do bungee jumping. I mean, if you want to, that's cool. But whatever the case, take some risks where you allow yourself to be vulnerable, maybe around other people and definitely with yourself. Maybe you've always wanted to become a public speaker, but that idea scares the heck out of you. The best thing you can do is get to know your topic really well. That'll help you build confidence. You'll not only learn a lot about that particular topic, but you'll more importantly learn a lot about yourself. And then go out and find local service clubs looking for speakers. They're always looking for speakers. And there are some great organizations out there to help you with your speaking. There are so many resources to pursue your dreams no matter what it is. And maybe that's one thing you can do to get out of your comfort zone. Seek out an organization or a method to learn the thing that you want to learn. It's important to identify your motivation and your creative drive. Look, we're all born creative. So what drives you in that deepest part of your creative self? What brings you joy? What desires do you have that you want to bring out into the world to share with others? To write a song, paint a picture, open a restaurant? These desires are instilled within you for a reason. Listen to them, respect them, honor them. Are you having trouble tapping into those creative desires? Find some quiet time. Look, it's great to input music and podcasts and to read books. That's wonderful, but it's also important to find some quiet time, to take a break, because silence can be your friend. Personally, I love nature hikes, and quiet time can help you come up with ideas, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. Again, your brain is this wonderful, magnificent supercomputer, and it's just waiting to help you create. So how do you get into the flow of creativity? Well, you have to prepare. You have to do the work. And even though you need to mix it up and get out of your routine in terms of what you input, you equally need to create a routine for work, a schedule. It's a balance. You need to show up every day to do the work. At the same time, if you can. I know that's not always possible, but either way, show up every day to do the work. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. You probably won't, but you still show up. Look, if you want to write a novel and you're sitting there at your laptop and you're looking at that blank screen, the blank screen is scaring you, okay, type. Move your hands, move your fingers, type anything. Nonsense, it doesn't matter. Keep typing every day, days on end. Just keep going. And eventually, words will begin to appear, sentences will begin to appear, paragraphs, pages. Just keep going until real words, real sentences, and that real book eventually reveals itself. And that same process can be applied to pretty much anything else you want to do. And when you're getting in the flow and the ideas are coming, keep going. Lose sleep if you have to. Keep going. But also know yourself enough to know when you need to take a break, to get rest, to get some sleep. Build in little breaks in your schedule. If you're going and things are great, take 5 minutes to go for a walk, to go get a cup of coffee, to take a quick nap, and then resume your activities and embrace a little silence. In our culture, we're conditioned to work nonstop, and that is of great value when you're working on a project to keep going, but you also need to take a break. But don't worry, when you take a break, when you go for a walk, get a cup of coffee, when you do nothing for a little bit, give your mind a rest, but your subconscious brain is still working on your behalf. This is all part of nurturing yourself, which is all part of the creative personality. Yes, you have to have input to have new experiences, to allow yourself to be vulnerable, and mostly vulnerable with yourself, and to be an observer of the outside world, of life around you, of people around you. Those things are so important. It's all part of having new experiences, getting out of your comfort zone, and embracing change. But be careful to not just do all of these different things to distract you from actually doing the work, because you still have to show up, because it is all about balance. Show up again, day after day after day. Show up. Give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to have the worst ideas ever, and laugh when the bad ideas come. Look, bad ideas, they're your friends, and you sometimes have to get the bad ideas out of the way to make room for the good ones. Sort of like getting rid of old clothes in your closet before you can buy a new shirt or a pair of pants. Creativity isn't a light switch. Creativity is a life switch. You can change your life with creativity. It becomes part of you. It is who you are. It's who you were born to be. And it's just a matter of tapping into that creative potential and maximizing it. Remember, your brain is always working on your behalf, whether you are aware of it or not, even if you don't understand the science behind it. I encourage you to mix it up. Get out of your routine, even if you don't feel like it, especially if you don't feel like it. Whether you fully understand how that brain of yours makes creative thought, that brain, that beautiful, wonderful brain of yours is working on your behalf. You just have to let your brain know that you're serious about it and that you're going to show up to do the work, and you're going to nurture yourself, and you're going to be kind with yourself. I'd love to hear what you think and for you to share your experiences in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more content on creativity, be sure to subscribe.